Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the Evently Live chat show. Today, our guest is Benjamin Vincenti. He is the co founder and COO of the company Get Hitched, which basically has the three platforms Get Hitched, Evently, and their newest platform launched just 4 weeks ago, Bookia.mt. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. As always, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, or anything, please do post them in the comments and we'll be able to get answers live from Ben himself. I'm just going to invite him in.
Hello,
Hi, Ben. How are you?
good afternoon. I'm doing great. Thank you. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm great. Thank you.
Awesome.
So, first of all, thank you very much for finding the time to tune into this episode for us and explain a bit everything that you are working on. Um,
My
for
pleasure.
our for our viewers, I'd like you first to explain a bit who you are.
Cool. So, hello from the other room. First of all, we are in the same office. But yeah, we're doing the show. I'm quite excited about it because I think it's the second time I'm actually a guest on a live show. And it's been months that I actually hosted the show myself since Alberta has taken over and is doing a much better job than I can ever do. So,
Thank you.
I'm Ben Vincenti. So, as Alberta said, I am one of the directors and co-founders of Get Hitched. We have three brands, right, under the same umbrella. We have Get Hitched, which is where we started from. It's a wedding service finder. Um, about a year ago, we launched Evently, which is a event service finder, so born out of the success of Get Hitched, which is purely focused on weddings. We launched Evently to cater for corporate events and personal. Then after, we launched personal events. And yeah, we're going to be mostly talking about Bookia, which is our latest platform, regarding table bookings at restaurants. A bit about myself. I believe I like to say that I take everything seriously except myself. So I'm quite down to earth, but I'm very, um, you know, set in my ways in certain things. I love music; it's my biggest passion. I love film. I like eating out. I like traveling, although that's kind of off the table for this year. Um, yeah, and I just like having, I like building products with our team and the products that we have created so far and any future products that we'll create. That's essentially who I am.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that. Now, before we even go into specifically the different platforms and mainly Bookia, which we'd like to talk a bit about today, perhaps you want to tell a bit our viewers how you actually started, how you met your partner, because it's not just you alone, but there's also Jonathan in the picture. So maybe they could have a bit of understanding how you actually came about to developing the core platforms and why.
Okay. This is gonna be a quite a long answer, so please bear with me. So basically, I worked in different companies. I spent a lot of. So when I was in university, I was studying psychology purely for myself. I never envisaged a full-time career in psychology. I was always interested in technology. And I was always interested in business. I'm not gonna lie. So at the same time that I was studying psychology at university, I was doing IT certifications, like Microsoft and Cisco certifications, etc., which are mostly on networking. Um, but yeah, at the time when I started doing these certifications, I started working full time at GFI, where I spent nearly 8 years. And then during GFI, I'm really bad with the number years and all this in the past. I did an MBA, so it was my transition into the business world academically. Um, at the time, I always, like I said, I'm very interested in music. It's my biggest passion, and one of the ideas that came to mind, the venture into business, if you will, was purely by chance. Once I was at an event with some friends, and we were listening to music, and it was the time when if you recall, the scrappage scheme of the government had come in, where you would put in you replace your old car, you scrap it to get funds to buy a new car
Okay.
and all that. And as a joke, I said we should create, what the government should create, but so a scrappage scheme would be a trackage scheme. And that was the beginning of something which is still existing today. It is a music kind of community, if you will, where it started from a Facebook group, which is still active today, very active today, where people share music, and new albums and reviews and stupid memes and all that stuff. I had back then I had partners from GFI, Del Chepo and Rachel Fennec and Graciela Del Chepo. They're gonna hate me for doing that. So hello guys if you're watching. And we started doing some really cool stuff, which I don't think was really done back in the day. Interviewing underground DJs, interviewing underground bands. We started doing like merchandise for the brand. We started building a logo and all this stuff. Anyway, we had done our first event. It was a blast. We had like 800 people, something like that. And then we're like, wow, we're onto something here, guys. We should, formalize it rather than just having a Facebook group and page. We said we need a website. And this is where the story begins with my partner, one of my partners, Jonathan, because then there's Stephen as well, Katkut Bonavita, who's the third director, but is more, as an advisor. Jonathan and I are fully hands-on. But essentially, from the website, through our mutual friend, Darren Grishti, I wanted to do this cool thing, which kind of started, but then it never really happened. Basically, the Facebook group I mentioned of Tracker Scheme, I wanted to build like this radio player, which would capture the tracks, from YouTube and all this SoundCloud from the group, and create a player on the site on trackerscheme.com.
Okay.
And I had asked around for some quotes, basically, and Darian had introduced me to Jonathan. I had never met him before, because they worked together at some companies. And yeah, essentially, we met at Darren Grishy's house, and Jonathan was going to handle like the kind of the front end stuff, and Darren was going to handle the media player, the radio player. It gave a lot of problems in terms of integrations, because there were several JavaScript errors and conflicts, and the radio player never really made it. But from there onwards, I became Jonathan's client, essentially,
Okay.
for trackerscheme.com. Long story short, and fast forwarding a bit, we built so much into the platform, like online tickets, which is still available today. We built like crowdfunding, a blog section. It's endless. The stuff that is still there today, and
Yeah.
it's like a kind of old code but still working. But anyway, we Tracker Scheme got awarded or enlisted for the startup nomination at the Web Summit in Ireland. And Jonathan was always and has always been interested in startups. He had something on the side. Għax dak dejjem għaddej, basically. And he wanted to come because he felt part of the project, and rightfully so, and also because of the side project that he had related to hotels. And somehow we went up to Ireland, and we just clicked. We didn't stop arguing about everything under the sun, be it music, be it films, be it business, be it whatever you can imagine. We argued not in a healthy way, I mean. Insomma,
Still the
and we
same
found,
till
yeah, it's
today.
still the same till this day. And we found many commonalities, the way that we see the world or perceive the world, not just in business, but in general. And I think that although we're very different people, we have a lot of overlap in our values and the way we are as people. I think that we are very genuine people. And again, we don't take each other to ourselves too seriously. We take each other seriously, but not ourselves. And that creates this really good dynamic where you can really trust to
Yeah.
bounce off real ideas and be yourself. That's the most important thing, that you can actually be yourself, and you're never trying to put on this charade of who you are. This is who I am. This is who he is. This is,
I
who we
I
are.
agree 100% with that, and you see it very clearly just with you two. And I do want to ask, like, so you guys had a really good click, and you guys started spending a lot of time together, working on different projects, and then you came across the idea of building the platform Get
Yeah.
Hitched.
So
But did
that,
the idea
yeah.
come to you, or did you go out to find the idea, sort of?
So basically, when I mentioned again, it's a bit of a long story, but essentially, when we had the tickets on tracker scheme, I wanted to expand the concept to mass market events, because with tracker scheme they're more niche, they're more basically underground, and I wanted to keep it that way, for certain bands, jazz bands, techno parties, house parties, etc. And I saw the potential in Summer to go for mass market, and hence we created Evently tickets. So I went into partnership with Jonathan for Evently tickets, and we basically started onboarding supply organizers on that.
Okay.
But again, like, we were doing this part time. We both had our things on the side, full time jobs. He had Springbox Media full time, so there was only so much time that we could invest in the platform. And basically, at the time when John was getting married, or he was planning his wedding, okay, and he basically him and Gail, who I think just commented now,
Yes.
they were getting a lot of
Hi, Gail.
Co- Highgate. So yeah, they were having a lot of problems finding different services for their wedding. The typical problem of them sending requests for quotes on Facebook or email, whatever, and they wouldn't get a reply back, or they wouldn't get what they're looking for. And John had come to me, I remember, saying, it would be cool. And I remember we were outside Palm, I think, because we used to go eat there a lot, because our old office was in Attard. We used to go to Cafe Cuba. And he told me what would be cool is just literally having a form whereby a user could fill in their details and say, hey, I'm looking for a venue, for example. And that request would go to all the venues that we have on the platform, and anyone who can cater for it would accept. And I'm gonna be honest, I shut down the idea. I told him, listen, man, we have too much going on right now, with tickets and all this. Um, I'm not gonna build anything before, and we weren't happy with the traction at the time. I'm gonna be honest, we weren't happy with the traction at the time that we had with Evently tickets.
Okay.
Again, was it part because we didn't have enough time investing in the platform? I don't know, could be, but yeah, I told him, I'm not gonna invest in anything until we time, that is, and money, unless we validate the idea. So we started validating the idea with, like, different suppliers we knew, wedding planners or photographers, whatever, as well as people we didn't know, because we're like, maybe our friends would buy into this, but let's actually test it with people who don't really know us and don't care about us. So yeah, and we validated the idea, and we actually managed to sell the platform, the concept, without having an actual platform, without having a name, without having a website, nothing. So then we're like, okay, we're onto something here, and we started building it, from a prototype. I remember John had put a prototype up in like an evening or something stupid like that.
I remember it.
Um, uh, and yeah, we went out to sell it basically, and we had set a like unreasonable and unrealistic deadline to launch at the wedding fair, which we usually attend in November. And that was like 3 months. I mean, from that we could build it, something like that. And we actually launched it at the wedding fair, and we hadn't slept for like 3 days, John and I. And I remember there were so many bugs on the day, and we were like at the wedding fair getting people on iPads to use it, which was crazy because we had like 4 days, we had 400 people submit requests, and we were like, oh shit, there's this problem, and we're
Yeah.
fixing it, and he's
Someone
gonna
in
he's
the
gonna
background
collapse.
on his desk fixing things. We're like, listen, add X amount of people, or we need this, or we
uh,
need that. I remember that. It was really cool. And it was a very short time frame that you guys went in and managed to execute and develop Get Hitched. And
yeah,
I mean, it's mainly Jonathan. So I do want to applaud Jonathan on that. It's both of you guys, because he's more of the development side, and you're, I think, more of the project management side, and then getting each other in sync to get everything rolling.
yeah.
All right, I think we've given a bit of an explanation, even like how you guys started together. Get Rich now has been there. It's turning 3 in 2 months. Evently has just turned a year for corporate and personal events. And now you have the new concept, Bookia.
Yeah, so just as because I didn't talk about Get Hitched. So from Get Hitched and all that we built, we onboarded, I don't know what, like 400 suppliers.
Yeah,
Now we have thousands of users that are actively using it. Obviously, depending at the stage of their wedding, what the stage of their planning their wedding. We've had like 3,000 couples use it, local and foreign, and we're always like thinking, what's the next thing? And we basically built Evently. So we took the same concept. I'm talking Evently, the actual service finder here, not the tickets. So we have technically four platforms. You've got Evently tickets, which what we started with, which is still going. Obviously, right now there are no paid, ticketed events because of COVID, so that's kind of on the down low. But you've got Get Hitched, which is has never stopped, even in the ultimate peak of COVID. March, April, May, whatever, mm, requests kept coming in, in droves. And yeah, then we have Evently, the service finder. We launched it about a year ago. Same concept as Get Hitched. If you're looking for a venue, if you're looking for a caterer, a photographer, whatever, instead of having to chase multiple suppliers, through different channels, be it phone, Facebook, email, whatever, and not getting what you want or not getting what you want in a timely manner, you literally fill in the form. So it's a three-step form. You'd say, who you are, the date of the event, the number of people, the budget per person, and then you say, I want a venue. Okay, what type of venue? So step two would say, okay, it's a hotel, it's a villa, it's a yacht, whatever. If there's catering, if it's indoor, if it's outdoor, if there's a sea view, all the stuff. And then the final step, they literally just log in. So they log in with their email and must verify their mobile number to make sure the information is correct. We don't allow, spam and all that shit. Excuse the French. Yeah, and then the platform connects them with the right supplier according to their needs, and then they would get, replies back from suppliers who can give them quotes, set up meetings, all that. That's how Get Hitched and Evently work, and they work beautifully.
very good. Okay. Thank you for that. I do think it is a very good explanation for both Get Hitched and Evently. But I did want to focus now on the new platform
Yeah.
that we just launched four
hmm
weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was what, like the third week, the official launch was like third week of July, something like that.
Yes, cool. But of course, we've been working on this for quite a few months. So explain a bit how the actual concept began on Bookia.mt.
Yeah, so again, there are multiple answers to this question. So first of all, we were already eyeing a new product. We wanted to create a new platform, a new product, and we started actually validating. Going back to what I was saying, we're like, if we're gonna build something, we must validate it before we build it. So we started entertaining different ideas. I'm not going to go into them because that's a kind of a bit of a secret, but we zoned in on Bookia. I remember John called me. I was near a brunch somewhere, and he told me, "Have you thought of this?" And of the idea of Bookia, essentially. And I told him, yeah, there are platforms. So how can we do it differently? There are some, we must have something unique. And we validated the idea with some restaurants that are on Get Hitched and Evently, and basically, we were still seeing if we're going to go for it or not. As soon as COVID hit Malta, we're like, this is a blessing in disguise, if you will, because we're like, it's like a sign that we should go for this. Because our clients, on Get Hitched and Evently, in catering and hotels, were all shut down. So
Yeah,
we're like, if we build this, we can really give them value, help them get back on their feet once the restrictions are lifted. Um, and that's pretty much it. We actually went for it with that as a sign, COVID being as a sign. Yes, we should go for this.
cool, cool. I do want to quickly put up Gail's comments so I can say thank you. Hi, Gail, and thank you for your comments. And we do have a comment here in Maltese from her. Where basically she told you that your partner, Jonathan at Party France, always comes up with brilliant, good ideas. So thank you, Gail. And before we actually, because I do want to ask more, and I want the viewers to understand how Bookia actually works, but there's actually something a bit interesting that I want to ask you before, which is basically about the branding, the logo, the color scheme that you chose for Bookia. Like, How did you come up with the different colors? Because it's very different to the design and branding that you have on Get Hitched and Evently.
Yeah, so every brand has its own identity. In fact, Get Hitched, we kept it purely about weddings. We didn't, put weddings in Evently or vice versa. Every brand that we've built it, through different iterations of discussions and maybe looking at ideas of different color palettes and logos and all that. And usually when we try different things, we constantly scrap and start again with new ideas, but done in an extremely efficient and fast manner. And usually when something fits, it's like a light bulb moment. This is it. And this happened with Get Hitched, with Evently, and with Bookia. We had many different logos. None of them worked. We weren't happy with them, with the color scheme, whatever. Um, and essentially, I remember again, John built the Bookia logo. So
Okay.
he's not a designer, but he is a designer, essentially. And the logos, there is some thought into it because many people, in Malta, the branding, colors, all this, especially when they're talking about something local, they go on the red and the white, which is the flag. With Bukya, there's a bit of more going on a traditional cultural artifact like the lutsu. If you look at the
Okay.
colors, the yellow, the eyes, if you will, you could even consider them like the eyes of the lutsu, although they don't look like the eyes of the lutsu. The blue is, of Bukya, is like the sea and the sky, the Mediterranean kind of look and feel. So those are that is the color palette and the branding and the kind of idea behind the Bookia logo, and people absolutely love it. They love the name. I think it's um, a favorite, from Get Hitched Evently and Bookia. People seem to love the Bookia Book IA
Yes.
name, and the colors and the branding and the palette. We've had even designers, friends who are designers who usually give us shit because of we're more on a techie kind of. We're more techie more than designers when it comes to how our platforms look, but they say like
Okay.
Bookia looks solid,
It's completely different.
from a design point of view.
Yes, I think the name is very catchy, and I've seen people even they catch it really easily. Bookia.mt. And the colors are very bright. So when you're seeing everything scrolling through your Facebook or Google or
Yeah,
whatever, the yellow is bright, it's catchy. So you stop and you see it's fresh.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Cool. Now, I do want to get in for the viewers today how Bookia works. So maybe you want to explain step by step how easy it is and all
Yeah.
the different processes and everything, and even all the restaurants we have on Bookia.
Cool. So Bookia is basically a restaurant. You as a user, you want to go out for dinner, for breakfast, for dinner, for lunch, and you don't know where to book. So there are multiple stages where a person or use cases where a person can use Bookia. I personally, for example, before Bookia, when I wanted to find, I don't know, restaurants in Melieha because I want somewhere with a sea view, or restaurants in Marsa Scala, I never found a site that actually solve that need. So with Bookia, you can search by locality, you can search by cuisine, you can search by restaurant name. But essentially, it's about getting you, the user, to book a table at a restaurant of your choice. With no hassle, without having to pick up the phone, without having to send endless messages on Facebook and not knowing if they read the message or not, not having to send emails. So we're reducing or eliminating the pain for you to get, just to book your table at a restaurant. It doesn't have to be that difficult. And I believe that it has been difficult before Bookia. Now we are making that easier. So the site, a person would arrive to Bookia.mt, maybe through word of mouth, maybe they heard about us and they just go to Google, or they saw a billboard or a radio ad, or whatever they might search, and it might come up. As soon as they go on Bookia.mt, again, they can, like I said, search by restaurant name or by cuisine type or locality or a combination of both. Or it's like we've done stuff like COVID vouchers. So they can actually see a list of restaurants that accept COVID vouchers. We're doing new search terms and queries such as, restaurants that are Michelin star rated, restaurants that are renowned for seafood in Marsa the best burger places in the north of Malta, on Hotel Kelma. So there, we're doing all these um, prepared lists for you to just go in and get what you want. And essentially, after you search, or as you go directly to a restaurant, every restaurant has its listing, meaning every restaurant has its own page, with a cover photo, nice description, if they take COVID vouchers or not, and some nice photos. And we're coming up with stuff like menus, that will introduce the menu, which is a very important part. It seems to be a very common question or feature request that we're getting. And yeah, and there are amenities, so they know if they're free Wi-Fi, high chairs, and all this, and a review system. I'll get to that later. But on the right hand side of every listing, there is the book a table booking form, where basically the user enters the number of adults, the number of kids, the date, the booking time, and the preferred dining area. They even have a comment section if they want to add, if they need gluten-free menu, or pushers and all this. At that point, once they click continue, that nice big blue button, they log in with Facebook, Gmail, or else they can do a guest login, which if they don't
Okay.
feel comfortable, right? There are some people who might not feel comfortable logging in with Facebook or Gmail, so we allow guest login. It's a new update.
Okay.
At that point, this is mandatory, and I will explain why. They must verify their mobile number. And this is important because, if there is any change that is required from your end or from the restaurant's end for whatever reason, or if they need to get you to ensure to confirm the booking or whatever, they need a contact number. And this is the same, if you had to book a restaurant directly through the phone or whatever, you need to leave your number. So this we're very clear about, and it's the same across all our platforms. You must verify with a real number on Get Hitched, Evently, and Bookia. At that point, our platform contacts the restaurant. So it's pretty much in real time. It is not pretty much, it is in real time that we contact the restaurant, and the restaurant will accept or decline your booking according to availability. But it's pretty much instant.
Yes.
We do contact the restaurant within their operating hours, their usual hours, but they can accept, and they do, outside of opening hours. But in the case that the booking is made outside the opening hours, we tell them, Isma, they usually, you can expect a response at this time today or this time tomorrow, depending on their opening hours.
This is another feature that we recently updated, where the person that is actually using the system will be able to see actually what the system is doing while they're waiting, so they'll know
Yes.
exactly at what stage the system is in getting the booking done.
Yeah,
Or
and yes, exactly. And there's more to that. So, once the restaurant receives the booking and they accept or decline, you are immediately notified, via email and SMS. Again, this is why we take the number. We ask you for the number so that we can inform you over SMS, because it's instant. You're not going to have the problems of, I forgot my password to my email, or it went into spam or promotions or whatever. SMS is like it hits home, and you are kept in the loop about your booking. And it gets better because on the day of your booking, say you book tomorrow at, I don't know, Caviar and Bull, for example, one of the restaurants on board. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., you will receive a reminder. Hey, Ben, you have a booking today at Caviar and Bull at 8 a.m., 8 p.m. If anything changes, just click this link and you can change your booking, or cancel your booking because stuff happens. But it really is that simple, with just 3 clicks, you're booking your table at your restaurant without actually having to pick up the phone, without having your booking getting messed up because there's maybe a loss in translation on the phone, without having to wait for emails and messages. It's just really easy.
there are a lot of benefits to the system, because even I was going through it, even with different people. For example, something cool is yesterday I was actually talking with friends and they're trying to book a restaurant for next week. And they told me how we're trying to find something perhaps where we could use the government vouchers. There's close to 200 restaurants set up. And when I just clicked the section to show them all the restaurants that accept vouchers, there's over 150 there. So you're already spoiled for choice. But then they were like, Ismail, what we want something Maltese, the typical of kif, a big plate. They wanted like that. So I actually went into cuisine type and I just selected Maltese for
As
them
well.
and searched. And they were like, oh, wow, cool, this restaurant. Wow, that restaurant. So they started sitting. And then slowly, of course, there's the reviews that are building slowly. As of
Yes.
course, there's only so many that you can build in such a short time frame.
So this is another good point, Alberto. So like I was saying before about the search queries. Again, like I want rabbit, the best rabbit in Malta or the best Maltese cuisine. Again, we are preparing these. Calling them tags. So that is super easy for people to get what they want. I want the best. Seafood platter in Malta. Where do I go? And okay, here it is. Boom! I have 10 restaurants. Okay, let me check the reviews. So this is a new system, that a new feature that we implemented about a week and a half ago or two. Essentially, the next morning. So imagine today, I'm gonna go to, I don't know. I went to Coogie's this week. So I went on Wednesday, for example. On Thursday, 9 a.m., I, as a user, receive an SMS to leave a review. And we encourage everyone to leave real reviews, regardless if the services are good or not. Why? Because this constantly ups the game. It keeps people, everyone in check. Um, not just us, to ensure that we have the right restaurants on board, which we take extremely seriously. Quality control is one of the most important things for our platform, because we want to make sure that the user gets what they want, and we always want to raise the bar. But also for the restaurants, if they're not adhering to safety protocols, they should be called out, in my opinion. And I'm happy to say that we haven't had any of these issues so far, in terms of bad reviews whatsoever. But I do encourage people to leave reviews. It's like, your right to vote.
Yeah.
You should have the right to say you paid for a service after all. So you should have the right to be able, and it's a duty in a way, to leave a review for others to learn from that experience as well.
Yes, yes, and even just like if there's any time to support local businesses and everything, and you go out and you've had an enjoyable experience, do put it down, because
Yes.
reviews play a big part with even other people when they're choosing restaurants.
Yes, and also what I want to say is that we need to be, as much as you should leave reviews, you should also be realistic.
Yeah,
If you have a booking, let's say for 9 p.m., and you are asked to wait for 5 minutes until they must clean the table, they must sanitize it, they must change the linen and all this. It's okay to wait 5 minutes. We're going through a situation which we've never been in. Let's be realistic. Let's be humane. And yeah, it's okay. It doesn't mean that your entire night is ruined because you have to wait a couple of minutes or whatever. Let's be, at the same time, let's not be, too difficult. Let's not be difficult.
yeah, yes.
Let's be
So,
reasonable.
Ben, why should people come and start using Bookia?
طيب Bookia is completely so for the user, a person booking a table, it's completely free. There are no charges, there are no commissions, there are no hidden fees. There's absolutely nothing. It's completely free for the user, and as we say on the site, it will always be. There is no other hidden agenda here. We do make our money from, like with the other platforms, but the model is different, from the supplier. The supplier, in this case the restaurant, pays a booking fee only on confirmed booking if the booking attends. So the user is free, 100%. For restaurants, again, if there are any restaurants that are interested in coming on board. By the way, we have, in like a month, we have close to 200 restaurants, which we're very proud of. We are growing daily, the number of restaurants. So thank you to all the people who are coming on board. And the daily bookings are growing as well. This is another thing. If you go to Bookia.mt, you can see when bookings are happening. For example, right now I just went to Capistrano restaurant, was booked 22 minutes ago. Chateau Bosquet 3 hours ago. Nan Juan 16 hours ago. Two Boys Bistro 6 hours ago. Country Terrace 7 hours ago, etc., etc. So you can see real live bookings happening right now, which again we're very happy about. We want to increase these numbers, and we're on the right track. So for the user, completely free. For the restaurants, there's absolutely no startup fee. There's no monthly fee or subscription. There's no annual fee. There's no administrative fee or any of this nonsense. There's absolutely no fee for you to come on board. Even your listing, even in the website that we built per restaurant is free. And we know that this is like a crazy giveaway. But again, going back to what I said, one of the main reasons why we built Bookia is to help the restaurant industry and the catering industry come back on their feet. This is 100% one of the main goals that we wanted to do. If the restaurant and catering industry suffers in Malta, we all suffer. It really is that simple. And these, not just from a humane point of view, but even from a business point of view, these are our clients on Get Hitched and Evently. So we must help them out. And we're extending this offer. I don't know for how long, until at least the situation gets better. It won't be free forever for sure. But yeah, there are no fees whatsoever except the confirmed booking fee. Meaning, if the restaurant gets a booking of 2 or 3 or 4 people, whatever kids are, they only pay a small booking fee, a really small booking fee, um, if the person comes. So مش باللي they book, if they cancel or there are no show, which has never happened so far, touch wood, they don't pay a cent. So it's a no-brainer. It's a total no-brainer.
Agreed, agreed. And for the user, there's a lot of benefits. So apart from it being really easy, it's within 3 steps, it does all the work for them. But the fact that you have all these different restaurants in one place, enough, you have a date last minute, you forgot to book a restaurant, birthday party, it happens a lot, let's face it. There's a particular moment in our life where, we want to go out and celebrate and we forgot. So it's there, it's really, really easy to use.
Yeah.
And there are other cool features as well. For example, in the amenities, something we didn't mention, people can even see if the restaurants are pet friendly, which
Yes.
we know is something that is growing more popular every day with
Exactly.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. For
And
sure.
there's more things growing. Now, you have actually already answered my next question.
Okay.
So I'm going to skip one for you because basically I wanted to ask and I wanted to make put it out there for everyone that there are no commissions, no fees, no hidden costs, especially from the user end when they're coming to use the platform. And we haven't seen any markups or anything or any funny business or whatever, even from the side of the restaurants.
Yeah.
So I want to go in with asking you if there's anything exciting, like offers that you're offering for people using Bookia.mt.
Cool. So yeah, again, if people go to Bookia.mt, on every page they will see that we have a campaign. This is a rolling campaign. Again, I don't know how long it will last, but yeah, they can. It's a raffle. People who book through Bookia will be put into a name picker basically at the end of the month, and they will be given, the person at random will win 50 euros. And we're doing this with 2 people every month. And yeah, so it's, again, people, you book, it's free. You have a night out or a nice dinner or lunch, whatever. And you're in chance to win 50 euro cash to be
Okay, it's
spent on.
cash, not credit to use at another restaurant when dining out.
No, we have something in mind for that, but in terms of a loyalty program, but this is cash. You can do
Okay,
whatever you want with it. So that's a very popular one. People love it. What we're launching next week as well, for example, is a referral program. And this is
okay.
going to be a crazy, crazy referral program. I don't think it's ever been done in Malta, to be honest, but don't quote me on that. Essentially, people who book through Bookia,
Okay.
who refer their friends or family to book through Bookia. For every referral that they make and they book through Bookia and attend, we will give them 5 euros with no cap. So essentially, if Alberta refers 5 of her friends, you are literally going to be given 5 euro times 5,
If
25
they
euro.
actually dine out. So they're going to
Yeah.
come, use the system. As soon as they book and they show up, I'm going to get €5.
Yes, you have a that in your user account. every user on Bookia has a user account where they will have everything transparent, showing even by the referee name. So they will see, I don't know, Alberta has referred Elton. Elton has signed up, and you'll see two stages that he actually booked and he actually attended. So
Good.
everything is fully transparent. And again, there's no limit. You can keep going to 30 euro, 50 euro, 100 euro. It's up to you, depending how many friends you have who get to sign up. And you can, again, the 100 euro or the 5 euro can be spent on whatever you like. You can buy makeup if you like, Alberta.
Amazing. Thank you. Can I know when this is released also?
We're launching it. John has been working on this for the last 2 or 3 days
Okay.
vigorously. I believe we're in the final stages of testing, and we're launching next week. So stay tuned because again, I mean, this is literally uh, we're giving cash away for people to use Bookia, which is already free and is already awesome because you're getting what you want, and we have basically the best restaurants in Malta on board
Yes.
already, So I'm proud to say this, there are some really renowned restaurants, Michelin star restaurants, high quality restaurants, and that have good service, good food. Again, now we have the perfect opportunity even to get money for referring people to the company.
Exactly. Exactly. And I have to say, from using Bookia, so far every restaurant has actually been a restaurant I haven't dined out before at.
Yeah,
So that's something nice. You're getting a new experience, but at the same time, I trust because there was a whole process before we set up every single restaurant
yeah,
based
yeah,
on ratings, reviews,
yes.
quality, and everything before we sat down. So, like that, I feel comfortable going in and saying, okay, I've never tried this restaurant out. Let's go for it.
Yeah, it's and that's the same for me. Every time I'm like, wow, this restaurant. I didn't even know that this restaurant existed. I need to go here. And like I said before, I like to eat out, but clearly not enough because there are so many restaurants that I can't wait to go there. Because you see the reviews, you see the photos, you see the food. It's like
Yeah.
I need to go. So that's another selling point. Again, through Bookia now it's super easy to find to figure out new restaurants.
From your whole experience on Bookia so far as a user,
Yeah.
which restaurant has been your most favorite so far that you went dined
Um,
out and you said,
there, all of
wow,
them have been great. All I went to Two Boys for an amazing breakfast this week. My girlfriend took me on a surprise to Coogie's in
okay,
Medina, and I hadn't been to Medina in a really long time, and I really missed it. It was so peaceful, and the food at Coogie's was amazing. And I'm not a fan of desserts, and I actually left a review about it. I had the best chocolate fondant ever, like
okay,
the best, and you can ask Gloria about this. It was amazing.
good,
Um, there are all restaurants that I've been to, have been amazing.
good,
They
good.
they have been great.
All right. I know as well we were still working on something last week, so I know you're going to be looking into for the restaurants, even giving them more exposure. Like there's a lot of like Google and Facebook marketing. So for all our viewers that are watching, for any updates or anything, you're going to see everything on the website directly and on the Facebook page. And I know you're also working with other people to even expand apart from the radio campaign that you're doing. You're looking into perhaps even TV, right?
Yes. So we have done, as part of our launch campaign, we have done, like you said, had a billboard in Slima, like in the parking in front of Zara and all that. We had a radio campaign on Vibe Radio. We've had the Love and Malt article. We have another Love and Malt article coming. We have the referral program next week, which we're obviously gonna do quite a big splash on that. We have Facebook ads, Google ads. We're investing a lot in SEO as well, in content and all that. We do even something for our restaurants, like you mentioned, Alberta. Every restaurant that comes on board, we actually create an image for them where they can say that they're on Bookia, and many people are sharing that, and immediately there is getting traffic. We are even going to venture for the first time into TV ads. We've never done this. There's going to be this program on One called Distant TV. So it's like this program about current topics which are related to young adults.
Okay,
Um, and we are going to be one of the main sponsors of that um, uh, of the show. So there are going to be 35-second ads on TV, which is going to be pushed on One. I don't know the dates, what slots on the week they're going to be by heart. I still need to confirm that.
But
I
this is the
forgot.
first time you're tapping into TV
Yeah, it's the
marketing.
first time, and we, as you know, in summer we are quite DIY with everything we do. We're very frugal in what we do, but we like to do stuff ourselves. And we even recorded the ad, with our team. It was a really nice experience with the restaurants that are on board. We did Aaron's Kitchen in Valletta. We did Rampina and Valletta. We shot it in Valletta, and we had different shots at Aaron's Kitchen, at Palazzo Preca, as well as Rampila, which are all amazing restaurants. They even, you know, gave us amazing food on the day.
Yes.
So I highly recommend these restaurants as well. And yeah, I'm really looking for. Yesterday we had a meeting with the editor as well about the ad. So we're very excited to see what's coming
Cool.
out.
Cool, cool. Okay. Thank you very much, Ben. My last question for you today is what you have planned for the future.
Um, we have a lot. Our minds, our brains, and as you know, as a team, we never stop thinking. We're always thinking about what is coming next, what is the next best feature, what is the next best idea, what is the next problem we need to solve. So what I can tell you is that even if you look at this year, what we did, like when COVID hit, we started these live shows, which have seen tens of thousands now of viewers, which is amazing. On Get Hitched and Evently, and a sneak peek, we are going to start a Bookia live show as well. So we're going to start interviewing, different, food critics, and we're going to start talking to maybe chefs, to restaurant owners, to foodies, and we're going to create a whole show around Bookia. So I'm excited about that. That's what's coming for sure. Um, we like with Get Hitched, we built the virtual Malta's first ever virtual wedding fair, and we are planning another one this year. With Bookia, there are so many features that we are going to be building for to cater for the user and for the restaurant, which we're doing every day anyway. We're literally releasing new updates and features and fixes every single day by quickly adapting and preempting what's going on with our platform, with our users, by being in contact constantly with the user and the restaurant, asking for feedback constantly. So what is coming, what I will tell you what is coming in the future, is constant um, uh, adaptation and constant growth and constant moving forward.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm going to add a last point as well, just for our viewers to know something in the company and something that we've all been taught as a team is to be customer oriented. And that's what we want to give. And we want to change the whole conception. We actually want to be three different platforms where you're always going to get what you're looking for, not just a simple site you go in and then, oh, okay, it
Yeah.
didn't work. No, there's going to be touch points. There's even a support team that you just created, right?
Yeah, I'm very happy that you mentioned this because I was gonna I've been blabbing on so much that I actually was not gonna mention it. But in terms of customer oriented, and I mean this with all the seriousness in the world, we want to become and are on our way to becoming the best customer service company in Malta. That is one of the main goals that we have in everything that we do. We want to serve the customer to our best ability. We are not perfect and will never be, but I can tell you that the way that we handle issues, good or bad, even mush issues, they can be questions, they can be whatever. The speed that we respond and all this is top, and it can always get better and better. And we really want to be the best in business across any product that we have and will have in the future.
Cool. Thank you very much, Ben. For everyone, just to know, Get Hitched is gethitched.com.mt. You can plan your wedding there. Evently is evently.com.mt. You can plan any event from a staff party, a seminar, a team building activity to your grandparents' birthday party, anniversary, and so. And now Bookia.mt, so you can book your table at any restaurant that you find fit in 3 easy steps.
Yeah.
I am going to put up the last two comments just because they are actually recommending a particular restaurant that you mentioned. So Gail did ask, Ben, I need to know about this chocolate fondant. That's my absolute favorite. And Gloria responded by agreed the chocolate fondant at Cool Geese restaurant was delicious. So guys, you should definitely check that out. Ben, thank you very much for your time. I know the last few weeks and months have been extremely busy. So I do appreciate that you took the time to come and have a bit of an interview and explain a bit what we're doing. Do you have any final words for us today?
No, I would like to basically, I thank you for the questions and thank you for the time. What I want to say is that thanks to the team for making this happen. So we are a small team, but not closely knit team. We're very hardworking and very quick on our feet to adapt with the with whatever is thrown at us, like many other people and many other companies. This year has been a topsy turvy, upside down madness roller coaster, and our team has remained a unit. We are a unit that is moving forward, constantly moving forward and making progress. And whatever we have built so far is not possible without our team. So I do want to thank you, Alberta, and the rest of the team. I want to thank Vitaly, Alex, Malise, Lisa, Steve for his constant assistance, and every third party that we work with, different bloggers and different third parties, whatever. Anyone who helps towards the vision that we're creating. Zoltan as well in terms of development. So it's thanks to this team that we are building what we are building.
Cool. Thank you very much. I am going to wave you goodbye, Ben. Thank you for the lovely comments and for answering all the questions.
My pleasure.
See you.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thanks, guys,
Take
for
care.
listening in. I hope that you get hitched, Evently or Bookia. Go for it. You have nothing to lose.
Cool. Great. So there you have it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into the show. I hope we gave you a great explanation on the different platforms that we have, how easy it is to use. They're super, super simple. There's no commissions, markups, fees, or anything on all three platforms when you're from a user and coming to use the systems. Again, I want to thank everyone, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.